always, man. I think the first thing you need to start by building a great defense to stopping the run, and so I think that was really the first thing that Fluch kind of talked about is stopping the run as a pillar of our defense, and so it's definitely going to be I think an emphasis for us.
What have you seen so far to say? I mean, it's been a problem here for a while, and I don't know if you knew that or if they talked about that. What's going to be the difference? Why was run be stopped this year? What's about this scheme, the players that's going to get it done?
Well, I think it's just taking a different approach. Obviously, it's a new staff coming in, and then you've got some new players. I think me personally, that's something that I take extremely personally. I think when a team rushes on you, and I think that's for the front seven. That's something that we have to take personally, and I think that's the mentality I'm gonna bring to it. It's just it's personal, man. It's some things about when they throw a touchdown on you, but when they just running it down your throat, it's unacceptable. So I think from me being a backer, having that mentality, and then just the new staff coming in already emphasizing stopping the run, making sure everybody's on the detail. I think that's what it's gonna come down to, just us being detailed with the approach and then the mentality aspect of it. I appreciate it. Yeah, no worries.
Well, there he is, Kenneth Murray. Kenneth Murray, that's a little bit older clip from a little while ago. I wanted to remind everybody, happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. But just want to remind everybody that since Matt Eberflus has come in, he is pushing stopping the run. That is what he's been talking from day one. Matt Eberflus is coming to new teams and being able to turn around the run game as far as stopping the run. That's going to be key to this team if they want to compete. And yes, I said compete. I didn't say dominate. I didn't say go to this. Compete. I think we can compete, but it's going to have to be with stopping the run. But we'll get into all that. I don't really have an agenda. I told everybody I got a little sunburn. I got a little red in the face today. But happy 4th of July, gentlemen. I hope everybody's doing good.
How you doing tonight? Able to turn around the
How you doing, fellas?
I have
Can you
to
hear me all
mute
right?
somebody. I don't know. I don't hear it now, so we're good.
Yeah, it was me. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Hey, let me know if you guys can hear this one.
Let's get ready.
Yes. Yes, let's get ready to rumble. You got it.
All right, all this shit's working. That's good. That's a good no. Oh, sorry.
The new headset.
Oh, and more.
So
I'm
what's
working on a
going
game for us guys. That's what I'm working on.
So what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? How was your day, man?
I gotta give me some more stuff.
He's
I need
looking at
food.
Chris like, "Oh shit, I gotta get my game on."
You talk real fast.
Yeah, I'm trying to
What the
recover my PTSD here, right? All these bombs and boom booms going off.
Nah, just chilling out, man. Just well, I'm used to East Coast. I'm a West Coast, so
Yeah,
it's still not dark here yet.
I know
weird.
it's crazy. It's dark.
Yeah, no doubt.
People-
Wait for it to
sleeping.
get dark so we can let some fireworks, but it's still
What's up,
daylight.
Xavier? I'll get to the chat shortly. What's up, Philly D? What's up, Kid Cowboy? What's up, Clemente? What's up, Dustin Bosley? But Jesse, how's your? I don't know why. So it's Jesse with a G. Okay,
It is with a G officially.
Okay, all right. How's your wife?
Why don't you just
doing?
call yourself G's?
That's what they call me, geese sometimes around here. Wild geese. No, she's doing fine, buddy. She's taking it like a trooper. She's up there in her nest over there, like relaxing. I've been Father Flanagan with her all day.
Well, that's good. At least she has somebody.
Yep.
What's going on,
Always.
Randy? What you doing, brother?
Oh, not bad. I feel better today. I didn't tell y'all, but I've had, I think, COVID for 2 weeks, a new variant called Razor, and it kicked my ass for a while.
Really?
I'm going on 3
Yeah, I
weeks
feel
here.
better today.
Hope you feel a lot better, bro. That sucks. I've had it before.
It's the golf
it's-
course version. He gets it from playing too much golf.
I played yesterday, even though I felt bad, believe it or not.
Well, I'm
That's a
glad
trooper
I
right
had to
there.
get out of the house. You can't stay in the house 2 weeks straight and not
No,
get, with the
absolutely.
walls moving in.
Yep,
That's the great white shark right there.
I hear you, brother. I hear
Did
you.
y'all see all the videos I sent out, y'all?
Oh yeah.
I did.
For BB and all that?
Yeah, I did.
That's
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
He's got these guys working hard, doesn't he?
Jay Smooth, you still got an hour and a half of
better.
work. Wow. Ultra, what's up, brother? Ultra's in the house. Let me go back to the top and say hello to everybody. Anybody that I missed. This is like a last minute thing. We got Chris May, Isaac Ramirez, CZ. What's up,
Thanks,
CZ?
Dustin.
Jeff Lee, Vinny Hagan, Manna Hawkins Owens in the house. Kid Cowboy, we said. Jeff Lee. Let's see
Thanks,
here.
Hey, Jesley, this one's for you, buddy.
Attention. Attention. We're looking for the chick with big boobs. Yeah, we are ready to do you now.
That's for Jet, buddy. I have that one for you for special.
Classic.
You got the that dude Rolo's in the house. What's going on? We got Jimbo is in the house. What's going on, Jimbo? Jameson Taylor, how are you, Jameson? Dirty Sanchez, Daniel Park. There he is. Been a while, brother. How you been? Daniel Park is in the house. Dustin Bosley, Boats and Hose, is here. Justin, how are you, Justin? Welcome to the show. I think Hamid's in the house. Hamid's in the house. Xavier, we talked about. What's up with Xavier? Ultra Cowboy, as we said. I think Jay Smooth, he's got another hour and a half of work. We got Clemente. I think that's everybody. And if I missed anybody, Logan Motorsports, just spam up the chat. We'll get to you. So, I don't know about you, but I just had to drug about an hour ago. I had to give a pill to 2 of the 3 of my dogs because they lose their mind because of the fireworks. And
No, he's not the only one. I'm
yeah.
losing mine too here.
yeah, and you know,
It's too hard on their ears, man. That's what it is.
yeah, and you know, it's crazy. But my one dog's hiding downstairs under the bed. Even though I gave him a pill, it takes a while. So I'm like,
My
oh
cat's in the
shit,
basement.
we need to give him a pill. So they're already
What up,
starting to
guys?
go off. What's up, Daniel? And what's up,
How you
Rob?
doing?
What's up, Mark?
Good.
How are you?
Good, good.
You
I'm
all
out
right?
here trying to wait for the fireworks.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wait,
Hold on.
shit, I'm getting it here. I got
Very
the hood
cool.
worse over here.
We got the whole family out here.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, what up, family?
And we're in Texas.
People,
In Texas, it's raining though.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Yeah, look, it's foggy.
it's seriously bad.
it's clear here.
It's foggy, but the fireworks is gonna be right in this area.
Well, that's cool.
You can see all the cars parked over there.
You got good
On
Wi-Fi,
that
bro.
side.
Oh, you got a nice site there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How hot is it?
Oh, it's like 70.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I got the whole thing set up, all the cowboy stuff.
Nice.
Just waiting.
Very cool.
Condolences.
Very cool. A lot of rain in Texas. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
We'll
tell
say
you-
a prayer for all them the
Yeah, what
families that
happened
are
with
missing
that?
out of that camp.
No, what the hell's
Yeah, I
going on
know.
over there?
I saw something about it, some
Yeah, me too.
flooding or something.
Tons of rain, and they're not used to
Wow.
that kind of rain in San Antonio.
Yo, that dirt doesn't suck up that rain.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'd say something, but I don't think people will like it.
What's that? Go ahead, say.
Geoengineering, man. There's 4 countries that can control the weather.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
United
doubt
States,
it, bro.
China, Russia, and India. Those are the 4 countries that can do it. But
Momo's
aside.
lighting up fireworks at Alligator Alcatraz.
What was the
Oh,
4
watch it.
countries again?
Mark
Um,
Hudson,
the
what's
United
up, brother?
States, China, Russia, and India.
Yeah, the biggest ones.
But they have the access to HARP control.
Yeah,
That's why they spray all that crap all over the place. But they do that to make it cool.
Well, I would say this, guys.
You know?
First, Mark Hudson, everybody having a good 4th. A good evening, everybody. Mark, thanks you, brother. What I will say is rain ain't the worst thing to have on 4th of July because I don't know if you guys are watching the news. There are houses burning to the ground. I don't know what's
No
going
doubt.
on, but these fireworks they're going off and catching houses on fire. It's just like a little crazy. You know,
Main
where I
concern around
live-
here.
Well,
Yeah, it's
where-
too dry, man.
yeah, well, like where we live, you really need to be in a controlled area. And I live in a neighborhood where they just shoot mortars off, and
Yep, that's what
you
they're doing
know,
right now.
It's crazy, I mean, we've all been there. I'm not poo-pooing it. Don't get me wrong. But when you watch the news, and you see all the houses and fires, all over the place, it's like, all right,
Look it
come
up,
on,
Dirty.
guys. We gotta come down.
It's called
man.
geoengineering, my friend,
We
and
gotta
it's a real
calm
thing.
down a little bit.
Look up HARP.
Oh yeah, they can
Mhm.
create rain. They can create whatever they want. I'm not saying that's
It's
what
used for
happened.
military control, believe it or not.
Mhm.
There's patents on it.
That's pretty.
But anyway, I'm
scary.
sorry, game time.
No. That's fine.
Well, I know your channel's not about that kind of stuff, and I wouldn't be talking about it on mine either.
No, but it's funny you said that because I have a buddy who's like a conspiracy theory guy, and I told him in a couple years when he retires, I said, "Well, I actually like that stuff. I just got to keep it separate because I don't, I like talking that stuff. I do. I like throwing some topics out, going deep.
Same here.
I'm just
Yeah.
a science nerd, and I follow a lot of
Hey,
stuff.
me too.
So
Me
it's
too,
like,
brother.
what
Me
the
too.
hell? That don't make sense.
Hey,
Why
Chris,
would you want to do
wanna
that?
have a big
So-
channel? You have
Hey,
something
Logan.
like that. That's
You get something like that, Chris, I'm in.
I mean, you just gotta sit there. As long as you don't just throw like crap up against the wall and you know what you're talking about, that's what's cool. But conspiracy theories are fun.
Well, see, the problem with it though is when you do get the proof out there, and even if you have the documentation, show people where it's at, dude, they're gonna come after you either way.
They'll shut you down. They'll shut you down.
So I don't worry about
the
it.
Other problem, the other
Billy
problem
D,
is that
thank you,
Jesse's
sir. Happy
wearing a
4th of
star,
July,
so he
especially
converted
to
to a
all the
Cowboys fan.
vets. I'm sorry.
No. Don't get it twisted, my brother.
But
Logan.
yeah, I
I'm
would like
wearing
to
it
do
for
a
the cause,
channel
not for
of
you.
that, like where you pick just do like once a week or something, and you pick like a topic, UFOs or whatever.
Entrails.
You could do all kinds of stuff. That's kind of neat. Just that's kind of neat. But yeah, you got to be careful these days. What's up, D? How are you? Jeff going to bed? Jeff's leaving us.
Damn.
What's up, EJB? How are you, brother? But so we sit here, gentlemen, as we circle back, Vinny Hagen. We sit here July 4th, right? We sit here, what,
In our
21?
2 weeks and 2 days until
Yeah.
training
There you
camp.
Basically 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks from Monday.
Thank God.
And,
Amen.
it'll be a few days before we start kicking in. And again, I know we talked about it, but there's not much to talk about. Like, I know, like, a lot of my videos lately are kind of like just a little bit trolly, but, there's nothing to talk about. It's okay and I love Eagles Drew, but it's okay for Eagles Drew to just say things as if they were facts, and it's
Jesus.
like, okay, well, I mean, just because you think it or haven't, doesn't mean that Dallas is going to be horrible this year or won't be able to stop the run. I just showed you a clip that they are harping on stopping the run from the word go. They're going to focus. Again, that's got to help. They went out and got some run stuffing linebackers. They went out and addressed it in the draft. Do they have a Jalen Carter? No, they do not. They don't. Not many teams do. There's a lot of, now I'll go to Randy. I mean, haven't there been a lot of teams who don't necessarily, now we have plenty of stars. We have plenty of stars, but hasn't there been teams that don't have this, oh my God, guy out the gate and still play real good defense? I mean,
That's what I was saying the other day. Offenses start out slow the first 4 or 5 games because they're not used to real game action. I mean, let's face it, the defenses are ahead of the offenses. That's what I was trying to explain to Drew the other night. And that's just a fact. In football, offenses they come out the gate slow.
Yeah.
But I will say this, I have a sneaky suspicion if Pickens is really the guy, we're going to come out hot. That's just my feeling in my bones.
Hey, Randy, it's like the old saying, a blind man who don't want to see.
Yeah.
Anybody else loyal?
Preseason to me is important for that, though.
Yeah, it is. But I would say I think we have a bit of an advantage because they don't really know what we're going to run. They're not going to show
resting
that.
on their
agree.
laurels.
I mean,
They're resting on their laurels.
that's going to be a little bit of an advantage. I'm not saying against the Eagles, I'm against everybody early on. And then once we get tape, then Dallas will have to adjust. That's how it works, right? Loyal, I mean, you're going to come out with new stuff and new defense, right? They're not going to show everything in preseason. Preseason is pretty much for just getting your conditioning, getting hardened for the hitting, and working behind the scenes. You're not going to see nothing in these three
and for the,
preseason
and for the
on your
rookies too,
techniques
and for the
and everything,
rookies,
too.
more for the rookies than
They
anything.
ain't going to show shit. They're not going to show much at all. They're going to be very vanilla. So,
but getting yourself a little acclimated is not,
you know,
too bad.
but
Working
I
on
mean,
the
that first
fundamentals
game
of
of the
things.
year, or the first couple games of the year, I mean, Dallas is going to be a mystery a little bit.
That's all teams. All the teams gonna be like
Well,
that.
you would think
Yes.
so, but everybody's assuming, a lot. But if Javonte Williams is what he can be, and Miles Sanders is a little bit better than he's been with Carolina, which is probably going to happen. Add Jaden Blue. You have some explosive running there. I mean, it's not like you got nobodies. So, I kind of think. Who am I hearing? Oh, is that Loyal?
Is it me?
You got a TV in the background, I think.
No, I'm outside.
You don't hear? Oh, you're lighting up.
I
green.
hear the TV, but I don't know.
All right, it's going. But anyway, so Loyal, what's your thought, man? What is your thought?
Thought on the team?
Just, like early on in the season.
I looked at that tape you sent me of Cooper Beebe. I was like, man, he was hitting that barbell hard.
Cooper Beebe
Wasn't
is
he?
going to be a stud.
I'm gonna tell you something. Booker's gonna be a stud too. I don't care what nobody says. That man has got it. He's just got that it about him. Our offensive line up the middle
And
is
you know
going
how
to be
this sounds, Randy.
freaking good.
You know how this sounds. I know we got Philly D in here, Logan.
So
We know
boy.
how this sounds. They're like, oh, everything's great. We're not saying everything's great, but I mean, I think Cooper Beebe is going to be pretty darn good, right? I mean, he was this close from getting Pro Bowl last year, and he matches up as far as numbers wise as a rookie. And remember, he hadn't played, the position since high school. He was a guard. Let me get to these two super chats, and then we'll go back. We got Dirty Sanchez. If Pickens is that guy, the Eagles' run game is going to have a hard time catching up to our offense. Dirty Sanchez, thank you. I think Eagles, they're going to be interesting early on because they're going to be the hunted now. Last year, people forget they did not come into the season as the main team. They went out and got Saquon, but coming from the year prior where they struggled. You know what I mean? It'll be interesting.
Hi, Tim.
I mean, to answer your question, game time, I think defensively wise, there's a lot of question marks. New coach, new philosophy, but that's not necessarily bad. I mean, a lot of other people, other teams are assuming, well, they got a new coach and stuff. That's not always a bad thing. I mean, it could work out in their advantage because a lot of teams aren't going to know what style of defense we're going to.
Hey, Hallie, how are you?
And you guys talking about our defense?
Yes.
We're talking about,
I have a feeling that we're gonna be ready. It's just a different swag this year.
It is.
You know what I mean? So that's how I'm feeling it. Especially we got Jesse wearing the star, so yeah.
Okay, keep it up, will you?
I knew Jesse. I knew you was a cause of Cowboys fan.
Keep dreaming.
You got the cowboy hat on, so you might as well just go ahead and
No,
jump to the dark side.
no.
Told you.
Hey, and all that bullshit that come out about Tyler Guyton was all a lie. It was all clickbait.
Really?
Yes.
Clickbait season.
What is this? The guy's name?
Merriweather.
Yeah,
Merriweather.
said
yeah.
that they were texting back and forth saying, "Can you believe this crud that they're talking about?"
Okay, really? I didn't hear that. All right, that's
Yes.
good.
I didn't hear it.
It's on the video that Vosh
So
Lombardi
basically,
did.
what they're talking about is, he's not working with Duke. Duke kicked
Yes.
him to the curb.
The
No.
whole line is working with Duke. The whole entire offensive line.
Mark Hudson, real quick. The only fires going on here are 4 briskets for tomorrow. Wow, my man's cooking
Damn.
briskets. Yes.
You're gonna have a lot of brisket.
Having barbecue for family and neighboring farmers. That's awesome, Mark Hutchton. I wish I could have
Nice.
some of your brisket, brother.
Pick up some of those meats.
I'm gonna be doing tomorrow night. I'm gonna be doing some pulled pork for Sunday. So yeah,
Ay, caramba!
I love it.
I'm gonna try and get a video of that. Like I forgot to do it.
Oh,
last
sure.
time.
Make us starve there. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot,
I'll do a
Brian.
video. Well, you're close enough to come down and get a sandwich. Tim Panel, what's up, brother? Heisenberg is in the house. What's going on? But yeah, CZ Tyler Smith serves Jalen cakes to IHOP, and again, we got time to do that. That's fine. But I'm more just focused on my team. I'm excited about seeing the new guys. I'm excited about seeing a new defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I'm excited about seeing the new coach. I'm excited about seeing George Pickens. I'm excited about Jadon Blue. I'm excited about Jonathan Mingo. It goes on and on. It's not like there's 1 or 2 guys, right?
I'm excited for some hitting, man. I want to see some
No
hitting.
doubt. I mean, we got boys. We got shiny new toys. We can't.
But you
touch
know what
yet.
I mean? It's not like there's
yeah.
1 guy we added or 2. No, there is a crap ton on both sides of the ball that we added, and it's fun to see how it's going to come together. Are they all going to work, everybody? No. We're not going to hit 100%. Somebody's going to get hurt or not work out. That's just the way the game goes. But it'll be curious to see who does work out. Will Kenneth Murray work out? I'll tell you one thing. I saw Trayvon Diggs working out. Did you? I don't know who sent it to me, but
I did.
Yeah, he had the barbell, and he's that's not easy. That's not.
But I'm just gonna say this though.
Yeah.
Don't get too excited about what you see when the guys are working out. We'll know
They're
when
in
they're
shorts.
out there.
We'll expect.
No, but he's coming off a knee
get
surgery.
excited that you got to go out there and see what they do, on the field.
Yeah,
I'm excited. It looks good. It's optimism, but it's not reality.
Yeah, well, like to me, it is when it comes to a guy who had knee surgery and you're putting all that pressure on the knee lifting, and you see him.
That shows he recovered.
And you see him running, sprinting, lateral. I mean, that's kind of good. Nobody knows what Dallas is going to do. Tim, I agree with you. Again, we're not saying anything. We're not saying we're going to do this. We're just saying we're excited, and I think we're going to be a lot more competitive than what people think. That's all.
Especially after last year, watching the team go 7-10, and really didn't look like they were any interested in even playing last year.
Well, once the injuries started to happen, and
it was like a landslide.
It didn't seem like they were playing very hard. It seemed like, I'm not saying they weren't playing hard, but it seemed like they gave up a little bit. And it is what it is. And you say, well, that's bad. Well, okay, it is. It is bad. They have to prove some stuff. I just think it'll be fun.
To be honest with you, I don't really think those guys bought into Mike Zimmer.
Well, now we're hearing.
I really don't think they bought into Mike Zimmer.
You can add Mike McCarthy to that too.
That kind of caught me off guard. I thought Zimmer would actually do something with it.
Me too. I was wrong about Zim.
Drew was right.
I don't think he was going with the odds, though. The odds are, we never really had the pieces. We didn't have the pieces.
True.
That's the thing.
We have the linebackers.
Yeah.
Or the defensive tackles.
And yet we still won basically 8 games.
7 games.
7 games.
You remember we won 8?
We could have won 9 or 10 if we really
that one
had
game
gotten
was
lucky.
a win. The game was over. Remember they were doing and we touched the ball. It was over. If you don't touch the ball, the clock runs out. So in my mind, that was a game. Thank God, because we got a better draft pick. I'm happy.
I just hope we press a little bit more this year so we can be physical on the line more.
Brian, the thing is, this conference, everybody's looking at what your team was last year. They don't realize they're not the same team.
No team is year by year.
Exactly.
I think what we're all really excited about is everything with the Cowboys is new. You know, you get year after year, you see the same coaching staff, you see the same players, and they do the same things. We're excited about maybe the run being better. You know, zone block and the way they're going to block everything that in general. So I'm excited about the season for a change.
No,
Gave
Rush
yourself an
was
enema.
bad last year, Philly D. Cooper Rush was bad.
He was. It wasn't.
I was
very
glad to see
accurate
him
at
go.
all.
That Eagle game was horrendous, brother. That
But
first
he was a lot
game
better than
without
the other
Dak,
dude.
I was at that game. It was bad. He was throwing worm burners. We're like, he's wide open. Nope. It was ugly. Game time, your shirt is matching your red tan. No, it's fine, Heisenberg. Yeah, I got a little red in the face, man.
Is that your new pool, Brian?
No, I've had that for years. I've had that.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've
had
out
that.
your face, bud.
Brian's going Redskins now, right?
Nah, New Jersey. No, I mean Red Devils.
Red Devil.
Red Devils. Devils.
He's going Phillies is what he's going.
Ooh.
Only thing red I got is a
Phillies.
hockey jersey of the Coyotes. That's it.
Daniel M. Game time. The Gilmore rumors are heating up. I think that if that happens, I know Ultra says no, but we'll have to see where these players are in training camp health wise. I think he's a contingency plan. I think
Haley, I think Trey was the worst. He didn't have the accuracy at all.
Trey was terrible. He would have been a good guy
Good arm
to go
throw,
at wide
but-
receiver or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Gilly.
Gilly.
That was some Saturday.
I love
night.
Gilly, man. I
I'll
want
tell
him
you one
back.
thing. Hey guys, I'll tell you one thing. Right now, it's been real quiet with the TJ Watt deal.
Eagles getting
done
TJ
really
or what?
quiet.
Or Bruce Banner or Eagles getting TJ?
That's been real
Eagles
quiet around
fans
here.
don't want TJ. They loving them some Nolan Smith. I'm sorry. If you get TJ Watt,
I
I'll
agree.
laugh my ass off.
you do
I'll
it.
enjoy
I mean,
every
I
minute of it.
think that, I mean, if you can get TJ Watt, you do it. I don't think it's happening. But if you
I
can
can
get
see
him
it happening though.
for
but
Nolan
right,
Smith,
right now.
who's,
True.
he had a good year, but he ain't no TJ Watt. Come on now. You go get yourself a Hall of Famer.
You
for
get a Hall
another
of Famer
3
in there,
years.
and
you
they
just-
they got like their windows closing. I mean, this is time to get them.
Logan says he doesn't want TJ Watt.
I know that's
You gonna get them? Shut up.
Nolan Smith's good, but he ain't no TJ Watt. So I don't. Sorry, Logan. I think you're underachieving there.
Mhm.
You know, there's a good
It'd be
chance
funny if
that
it happened.
Jordan Davis is going after.
I
this
would
year.
laugh my ass off. Like,
Stephen White, what's up, brother? Who's going to replace Lawrence? Mark Hudson asks. Well, we got a lot of possibilities. Yeah, how, Randy?
Yeah. How about Easy? How about who's the guy we got back from the the Commanders?
Oh yeah,
Defensive end or tackle or anything. It's God, we were just saying his name the other day and I forgot it again. He'll come back.
oh,
the edge rusher. Come on now.
Yeah,
Who
the
the
edge
hell-
rusher.
We forgot it again.
Yeah.
oh shit! My job, the fucking.
I'm all look, the sun's got me all bent. I want
Mm.
to see
But
cage
we
match
don't.
with Drew and Dirty Sanchez. Oh God,
I'm glad Lawrence
Wow.
is gone. I hate to say that, but I'm glad Lawrence
Who
is
we
gone.
thinking?
I agree with you, Randy.
Keep dreaming.
I agree with you
Logan.
100%.
who are
I
we
did-
thinking?
You
of?
know, I
He's
don't like
just-
that kind of attitude on team. Well, we was tired. You know, just shut
Dante
up.
Fowler.
Yeah,
There
shut up
he
and
is.
win
If you're
games,
gonna-
and
if you're
then
gonna
you can
say
talk.
anything,
Glimmerman, you
I'm
got it,
tired,
bro.
boss. I'm tired,
Fowler,
boss.
that's it.
Dante Fowler. How
Hey,
do we
thank
forget
you.
that shit?
How can I
Daniel,
forget
thank
the name
you.
Dante?
1776.
I like that.
Danny.
Nice one.
1776. Daniel, thank you, Daniel Park.
I hope. Ultra
Thanks,
says
buddy.
Sam Williams is going to win the defensive end.
Yeah, on what planet?
I don't know. He says he's as fast as Parsons, man.
So
Yeah.
We've seen him play, so guy's insane.
I was talking to my wife. Sam Williams is a Hall of Famer. Sam Williams. Bruce, watch what you say to Sam Williams. He's a beast. He's a beast. I was talking to my wife and my producer who was over. She was in the pool with her kids. And I was going to make up some T-shirts. So right before we go to Vegas, I got to find out. I'm going to make up a design. I got to find out exactly how many people are going. Laura, you're still going, right? Well, oh wait, he's
He's there, but
Yeah.
he's not there.
He's having himself another little drink.
I know that last time I spoke to him, he said he was going because we were
Yeah.
gonna share a room.
Yeah.
So I'm still going.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm trying to go.
Oscar's
I'm trying to figure
going.
out my thing.
I think
you
Slammy
need to
and
come,
Micah
Chris.
should be. Yeah, again, the Giants haven't beaten Dallas in years. Tim Panel says, "Listen, man, Giants are gonna be
Keep it up.
Giants
Keep it
are gonna be
up.
fun to watch this year." I know. I was talking to Pizzle the other day. Like he's gonna, I'm gonna do something with him soon. So stay tuned for that. But
Yeah, my man.
he, he's excited, man. If I'm a Giants fan, I'm excited. The
I'm
only thing
damn
that's
sure
not
excited.
excited is that damn head football. I mean that head coach. I just don't like the head coach. But
He didn't have his quarterback though, man. He got thrown into the fucking fire.
But he's been there a few years. He's a bit of a, I don't know. I hope you're right. I liked him coming out of Buffalo. But I'm actually happy, man. I'm hoping the Giants are going to be good. That helps out Dallas.
I want to be competitive, man.
If Giants
Like
can
Brent
compete with Washington, who actually Giants plays well against Washington. If Giants can get their head out of their ass against the Eagles, that'll help the
Thank you, Vinny.
the division out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't expect to win the Super Bowl here, guys, or even try to make the playoffs. I just want to be getting some respect
And
back
I
from
think-
top of the league.
You're gonna get it. That
You-
defense is on the rise, bro.
Yeah.
No,
You want to compete is what you want to do is compete and stay
Exactly.
in
I mean,
games.
we get beat, but I don't want to get be
Right.
a butt of a joke.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that.
We'll leave that for Momo.
Oh, wait till I get a whole. Ooh,
I hope to God y'all beat them on the first game. I hope y'all beat them.
Darn it, Momo.
Man, I got a
Go away.
whole theme.
No.
I got to look at this, guys. I got a whole theme part for him.
Vinny Hagen brings up something, it's just another example. And again, we're happy, guys. Up until they start losing, we are happy. Right? And I don't know that, I hope they don't start losing. Devil Dog, what's up, brother? Where you been?
Damn.
Long time,
Hello,
man. But
Devil.
I'm excited about, I'm excited about White Cotton and these head coaches. I don't know. Am I weird? Like, I am excited.
No.
Oh, by the way, the reason why Leo's able to get in is because I put the link for the
Keep it up,
Game
Oprah.
Time crew. Normally, it's just the Zoom crew. So, but tonight, if you're just a regular GTB channel subscriber, a channel member, you can also the Zoom call. You also got the Zoom call. So,
Come on in, people.
I did extend
join
it for
us,
the
man.
holiday.
Come
We
on,
got to
the
get
water-
high. Hey,
Yeah,
Leo.
the water's warm. I took a piss in it.
Again, nobody can
Happy
come
4th of
in.
July.
It really
Don't eat
doesn't.
the yellow
Thanks for the
snow.
service, brother.
Happy 4th of July,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody.
Happy
Thank you
boom
for the
boom,
service,
Leo.
man. Hey, Leo.
You're
What's up,
welcome.
bud?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Oh,
Just
man,
chilling,
he'll
bro.
be fine.
Looks like
Pretty
you're having
good.
Getting
fun.
tipsy, getting tipsy.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was tipsy earlier.
Damn,
Now
Leo,
I'm
me and you
drinking
hang out
iced
one day,
coffee
bro.
to wake the hell up.
7 weeks to college football. 7 weeks to college football.
Thank
I'm
God.
Roll Tide, roll Tide.
Thank God football's coming.
I'm gonna keep it,
OHIO.
I'm gonna keep it
Roll
all the way.
Tide.
I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. I am so smacked
They don't-
right now. It's not even funny.
Bruce,
Oh, no.
Bruce, that's not true, man. I'm weird, but that time we were not excited about our team last year. Come on, man.
Hell no, man.
You know
They didn't do
better.
crap.
They didn't do anything. Now we were all hyped up.
Damn it, that was empty.
Use a hype.
Sorry.
I'm hyped now. It's a lot different. We made a lot of moves. Yeah, of course they're not all going to hit, but we got a lot of talent on that defensive side of the ball. We just got to see it. I played a piece where they're focusing on stopping the run.
Hey, right, and at the same
Like
time,
Randy was saying, there's been a lot of talk about individual players. Yeah, we don't have a Jalen Carter. Okay, not many teams do. No,
Hey, Brian, what
Bruce
the
Banner,
amazing thing is,
we weren't. It was a little false. Like, I mean, I thought we'd be better, but I didn't expect to have a mass of injuries either, Bruce. We didn't go out and do any free agents, right? Remember? We didn't do anything last year.
Nothing. Two like off the
Nothing.
ball guys, and that was it.
I mean, we didn't go out and get
A linebacker.
like a George Pickens, you know. We didn't go out
Got
and
a
get a
linebacker.
Kenneth Murray. We didn't go out. Yeah, we lost Fowler. Now we bring him back. There's just a lot of pieces. We had no juice in the running back. We brought back Ezekiel Elliott, for crying out loud.
I got a question for you. When you, as a Cowboys fan, like, and I'm on the outside looking in, this is where I get confused. When I hear someone from the fan base talk such as the way you just did, are you listing these things as to say, in hindsight being 2020?
What do you mean?
Or are you like, I just don't understand.
Regarding what? Regarding what?
Regarding what happened
Last year? Well,
yeah.
remember, we didn't pick up one free agent.
Yeah, we didn't do anything.
We lost.
You sat on your hands.
We lost, what? How many players, Randy? 11? And
Yeah,
then
we lost. I think it was 10 or
12,
11.
wasn't it?
and then we went in,
Couple
maybe
retirements?
12.
Oh,
and then
wait,
we went
that's
into
right.
the draft, Leo. We drafted. Okay, everybody has a draft. You know, everybody
We
wants to
picked
talk-
up one linebacker
and then,
last year.
And then after the draft, right, we picked up Linval Joseph.
And the
picked up-
linebacker from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And you picked up your running back.
And we got it was horrendous, you know. And Bland was hurt. Remember, he was hurt for most of the year.
Okay.
Hardly played. Diggs tried to play. He coming off the ACL that he didn't rehab and was never good, and then ended up going out again. And I'm just saying, it was never.
So here's the $1 million question. What should they have done?
What, last year?
What was
looking back. I'm saying from the fans' perspective, there's nothing
Right.
they could have done.
Yep. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, from
I
a
would
fan's
say-
perspective, they did a reset. They had to unload some contracts. You know what I mean? Sometimes if franchises do that, right, they'll not re-sign some guys, you know, and that's what last year was.
I'll give you one.
And
let
me finish my thought. Let me finish my
So
thought.
are you okay with the way the team officially responded to those?
Yeah. Now, again, we started out the show, Leo, saying we don't know how it's going to work out.
Right.
All we're saying is last year we didn't do anything, right? You could tell what they were doing. They were trying to work out the Dak deal. Whether we agreed with it, half the fan base agreed, the other half don't. Whatever, it don't matter. They did it. They were in their mind going in thin. If in order for them to do anything and maybe make the playoffs, they would have had to have stayed healthy. They would have had to have hit. Mike Zimmer, would have had to have done his thing. You know, it's just it was hindsight's 2020. But when you really are honest with ourselves and we look at it, we never really had a chance. We were decent, you know, for a little bit, and then all of a sudden everybody got hurt. We were never really decent, really. We were mediocre at best. We were a bad football team by the end of the year. And it can go real quick. And that's what I was like, you know, I'm not harping on it, but you saw the Eagles win a Super Bowl, but then just a few years ago, like the same staff basically, minus Saquon, and, you know, they lost, 6 or 7 down the stretch, gave up the division to us. And it was kind of like, thank you, but it wasn't. We choked it up in the playoffs. But then you guys went out and got Saquon, and that totally, and obviously Vic Fangio, that totally kind of made everything great for you guys. That's why we're excited. We went out and got a George Pickens. We could say whatever we want, but a defense is going to have to make a decision. When they play the Cowboys now, it gives you another threat.
So Ryan, you had a chance. Ryan, you had the chance to pick up one person right there that even offered to drop his salary a little bit. You had Henry. You had Henry in your hands.
He was in Dallas.
But again, what would that really have done with us? It would have been a waste.
But you could have had him for like 2 years. You could have had him this year too.
Again, it would have been a waste last year. Yeah, I get it this year.
It would have done for you guys what getting Saquon did for us.
Not with that. Not with that team that we had. We had fucking Zach
could have had him
Martin
this year too.
floundering.
Look, I'm not saying
We
I'm
had
not
a
saying,
rookie. Now
I'm not
we're,
saying
you know,
the same, Brian. I'm not saying the same success. I'm saying the same the same.
yeah, I hear you.
You know what I'm
But they
saying?
made a decision to reset. They weren't adding any salary, obviously. When a guy begs to be on your football team and he's making what 10? I think he got 10 million a year. It wasn't like he got that much, but that's kind of a lot for him. But he's worth it.
It was him and Saquon were resetting the market. Remember?
Yep.
Was like not being appreciated and everything.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
and that was a good move by the Birds because
we reset the market.
But you know what I mean? It's like to have the
I rate
balls to
this.
do that is impressive. He was out there for everybody, honestly.
Should have pulled that trigger.
Well, having said that, Saquon was to y'all as Charles Haley was to us back in the day.
Right.
You picked up the player that's over the top. He took the team over the top. I mean, I'm not doubting your defense because your defense was outstanding, but Saquon was the guy that helped the defense out on
He was
offense.
My team kept him like he was nothing. That was bullshit.
Well, the one thing
and one thing about Dallas is that I have a problem with. I've had a problem with them for 10 years. I've never really felt like we could win the Super Bowl. And if I feel that, the players have got to feel that.
Right.
You know, and when your
definitely.
damn owner comes out and says we're all in and he smirks about it all the time, and then he waits to sign your two guys on the first game of the year, that's just bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have it. You got to have your shit in order. If he had his shit in order, how much more would we have to spend right now if he had paid Dak 2 years ago and CD 2 years ago?
Yep.
That's the problem that I have with billionaires that don't give a fuck.
Right.
Randy, I got to agree with
honestly.
that. I got to agree with that because you got to get trust from your players. You know what I mean? So the players, like, if I don't have trust on my owner, why should I? You know what I mean? You're giving them a bad taste in their mouth.
That's another reason why we feel like it's a little different this year.
We do. You can see it in their face.
Like, because Brian Schottenheimer was allowed to go out and pick his own staff. Far too many times was Mike McCarthy is stuck. He didn't want no part of Mike Zimmer last year. None. But they said, we're hiring him, deal with it. And then he acted like he liked Mike Zimmer. Again, he wanted no part of that. This was the first time in a long time. Even Jason Garrett was not able to pick his own staff. I would say not since Parcells was the last guy who was, and I'm not comparing Schottenheimer to Parcells. So don't get
I know exactly.
I'm
what
saying he's allowed to at least. It's almost weirdly, it's almost like wins are aside. We want to win, don't get me wrong. But it's a different thing. It's like, okay, I can roll with these. I got a college offensive line coach who was one of the best at his job. He's coming in with us. We went out and got Clayton Adams, who was he's our new offensive coordinator. He will not be calling the plays, but he had an awesome run game with Arizona that never really had a lot of studs on the offensive line. I'm not saying they had nobodies, but they had a middling, the group of guys. Will Hernandez, he turned into a good player who was, as Jesse knows, was ass. So he adds, to the run game. You bring Matt Eberflus, who always, year one and every stop, brings his team into like top 10, like top 15. I mean, I played a video at the top of the show where they're talking about they're emphasizing, which they all do. Let's not act like they don't. They did it last year, but it's nice to openly hear the players say, our goal is to stop the run. We're going to stop the run. So don't, like, we're hearing all the right things. Again,
right?
It's all talk.
For now, it looks and sounds like a football
team. It could be a shit show, but I think it'll be pretty good. I don't know if it's super, but I think it'll be pretty good. And
it's a start.
I read an article where they were talking about, like our Cowboys fans trying to talk themselves into Schottenheimer.
At first, I didn't like it.
Stop the run. You have to have an attitude, and I think that's what's being brought there.
Yeah. You got to have a chip on your shoulder.
You have to have an attitude. I mean, I play defensive end.
Chip on your shoulder.
Well, and it's hard as a defensive end, but being defensive tackle, you know.
Buddy Ryan brought an attitude to that defense.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that guy was a beast.
But
you know what that attitude is at game time? You know what that attitude is?
Was he had no
it's my field. You have no business on my side of the field. You're going to freaking die. Yeah. That was my attitude every damn time. I didn't care who the hell you were. No, I was a defensive end. That's my attitude with it. You have no damn business with the freaking football. That's mine. And I didn't look at the guy I was, like the tackle I was going against. Every time I look at that damn ball, I look at, and I hear a lot of, like, the best players even mention it. Dude, it's more than just physicality. It's about mentalness here. It's all about body language. Listen to what Ray Lewis was talking about. Like one dude, Marshawn Lynch was talking about Ray Lewis. Like Ray Lewis telling you, hey, I'm studying you. I'm watching how you're cutting. I'm watching how you're doing everything. Because then I can, go look for that on YouTube. You'll find it. But it's an attitude. You have to want to stop it,
And we haven't had that.
And yeah, but when you're not good on all sides of the ball and you don't have somebody pushing your ass to do it.
That's a Marcel's right there you talking
about. Exactly.
You know when I knew what kind of team we had last year?
The gleam. All right, let's go.
When we lost to New Orleans and New Orleans went up and down the field on us last year in game 2.
That was crazy.
I knew then we weren't a good team. Right then.
Yeah, then we beat the shit out of New Orleans.
Yeah, you did.
That was a man massacre.
I remember that.
I was like, wait a minute. These dudes gave that, like, if Dallas, I remember thinking, if Dallas struggled like this against New Orleans and we go and beat the shit out of New Orleans, I was like, oh, man, we about to fuck Dallas up. You know what I'm saying? Dallas is about to get fucked up.
I had no confidence in our team last year. None. Zero.
Wow. Yeah.
And especially with Jerry coming out all the time, we're all in and he's smiling about it. He's just pissing me off.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's like a slap to the face every time.
Yeah, it is. It is.
No, I
take your money.
Hey, leave Jerry alone. He's a good man.
I do believe you all are well within your right to feel the way that you
feel. Like people take that. People
take
it like we're predicting Super Bowl. That's not where
not even
close.
Well, that's what kills me. I mean, I even say you guys got a good team.
I don't know where the season's going, Leo, but we're allowed to be happy. That's
I don't
like
know.
Leo, what like I want to ask you since you're here. Like, what do some Eagle fans and even in here, why? I mean, what does it care? I guess maybe you take it as we think, that we're doing stuff. I don't know. I never would poo-poo somebody who's not upset. All right, if you're happy, the games haven't started yet. I will have my paper bag on if we go on a losing streak over my head. Don't get me wrong.
God knows I did.
But we're excited. Why? I don't know. It just seems like it's something new and fresh. I don't know. It's like
that's it. That's the main thing.
Like
Brian.
It's when you find a new girl and you guys are, I'm home alone right now, so I can say it. But like you find a new girl and it's exciting for a while. I mean, we'll see where it goes. I don't know where it's going, but it's exciting. I like what I'm seeing. Is it perfect? No, we have holes. Like most teams. Pause.
Yeah.
We got holes. No, but like most teams. I mean, the Eagles don't have many holes. Okay, that's nice. They happen to be in our division. Congratulations, man. That's good. Not many teams are holeless.
No, you know what?
I believe that all 4 teams in our division got better this year. I believe all 4 teams got better.
We're not the joke. We're not the butt of a joke anymore.
I think the Giants got better defensively.
Giants got better. Washington did not get better.
Well, Washington's a different story.
Eagles stayed the same, I think. Maybe a little.
Washington's a redheaded stepchild, literally.
I like the Eagles draft. I'll tell you that though.
I love their draft.
Yeah, they had a lot.
I love their draft, but I always tell everybody had a draft. So we could get caught up in the names, but then we're going to be those guys. We love our draft, right? But what am I telling you? Calm down, everybody. I expect a lot out of Booker. I don't think he's going to be flawless. I don't think he's going to be flawless, and he's a first-round pick. I love Easy out of Boston College, right? I love Ezeraku. He lives 10 minutes away from me in Williamstown, New Jersey.
Yes, you mentioned that several times.
but he's a rookie. Siobhan Ravel, I love him. He's coming off an injury. You know, I think they have big upside, but
let me say this. Let me say this to you, Brian, because I want to make it clear so that you can understand, as an Eagles fan, how I see it. Right, everything that I see happening with you guys looks familiar, as you can imagine.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like we ain't did this. We ain't go through these same circumstances. The only difference between us and you guys is ownership. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree with that. Sure, that's fair.
You know, but in terms of what I have observed from your team
Washington
this year,
has fat ass Debo, Jason.
you know what
I saw that.
what I have observed from the Dallas Cowboys. One, definitely notable, but two, is somewhat familiar. I've seen this before. Just a few tweaks. That being said, for me, the way I am thinking right now is
What's up, Ken Armstrong? How
we
are you?
literally just won a Super Bowl with a core group of guys still on their rookie contracts. That's a hit for any team. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is.
Under the circumstances, and what I'm about to say can apply to anybody under the same circumstances. But in this set of circumstances, we hit with a core group of guys on their rookie contracts, and then fucked around and got double-digit draft picks. So we got an entire draft class. We got 2 years worth of rookies who had just won the Super Bowl, and another group of rookies who are coming in fresh off the year what happened before. So the point in all that is that when we're talking about culture and everything like that, yeah, we lost some guys, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we got some guys who are about to become starters that aren't new to the team. So we have an opportunity to be young and good for some years. See, I'm thinking beyond this year now, because I'm thinking about the contract situation.
He kind of had to go that way, though, Leo.
You had no choice. You had no choice.
I just think you kind of had to go that way.
I
was telling people before that I said you have two choices. I was saying this months ago after the season. I'm like, you have really two choices. Try and do what Dallas used to try and do and keep everybody and screw yourself and hang on, or you're coming off a Super Bowl. You can continue to go young with guys that you've drafted and you're going to draft, and that's exciting too. And I would do what they did. I always would opt to go young. It's I don't think you know what I mean. I like that idea, and that's what I like my Dallas Cowboys to do. If they, don't get caught up with a name, just
right. I was about to say I don't think there's any validity to the whole T.J. Watt talks and everything. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I do think they are talking about it. And I
know.
There's multiple outlets. When you hear multiple people, and ESPN doesn't just make shit up. ESPN is reporting that Howie is involved.
Yeah.
So
if
maybe I don't know. Maybe he pulls something out of his ass, and you don't have to give up Nolan's. I don't know.
Howie's been on your team for what? How long, Leo? He turned 50.
Howie's been laying low. I don't think they can afford. Technically, they can afford it, but I don't think they can afford it with what they want to bring back next year regarding the Eagles. You want to be able to bring back guys. You got your what's his name? Is going to be a lot of money next year.
Jordan Davis,
Carter. I think Davis is gone.
Well, Jordan Davis is.
He exercised his 5th-year option.
Yeah, but I mean, normally Howie would have signed him now if they were keeping him long term. The fact that they kept him, that's what I was trying to tell Drew. And he was like, they brought him back on the 5th year. I'm not saying 100% he's gone, but Eagles have shown well, they will pay you early if they believe in you.
Which will be this year. This will be his 4th year. This year.
Yeah, and having said that, and I'm going to add to this.
They're going to They're going to do it.
Is
They're
it
going
his fourth year or is this his fifth year?
No, this is
No, that's fourth.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like
So they could
Go ahead,
extend
Randy.
him.
Go
then.
ahead. Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's going to get a lot of money though, and I don't. Again, he's a guy. Don't get too upset, but he's a guy where you may not have to keep. If you got Jalen Carter and Ty
You can dangle
Robinson
him.
works out, and you draft another one, you can't keep them all. That's what
No,
cracks
but-
me up. You
but-
cannot.
But we have Ty Robinson on his rookie contract.
I'm saying if
It's
you,
not like
you-
it's
But you
not.
can you can
I
Jordan Davis.
know,
You
but
can
Ty
dangle as a carrot.
Robinson, if his act
All
good,
I'm
he could
saying is
slide
that-
into there. Is what I'm saying next year. You know,
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying. You have Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter.
you don't
Ty
want to
Rob-
pay everybody.
Wait a minute. Listen. You got Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Ty Robinson, Nolan Smith, and
Nolan
Zach
Smith's going to
Baum.
have to. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Zach Baum. And you have these guys sold up at least for the next 2 to 3 seasons, whether they're on their rookie contract or just signed.
I don't think Jordan's going to be there. I don't think
You
Jordan's
know what
going
I'm
to be there.
saying? You have that like right now.
Jordan,
And
he needs to step up if he wants a long term
Yeah, I
deal.
don't think Jordan. If you don't step
Which
up, he
is
ain't going to be there.
exactly- Which is what name? Jordan Davis could end up doing the same thing that Milton Williams did.
He might.
When Javon Hargrave had that monster
Come on,
season
Daisy.
and went
Come
to
on.
San Francisco and got went to San Francisco to get a bag. You know what I'm saying? What happened the next year? Milton Williams turns around and does the same damn thing because Milton Williams was in a contract year.
Well, right now, Leo, Jordan Davis
Bruce
is the
Banner,
lowest hanging
Eagles,
fruit.
get Davis out of here.
Huh?
I just don't know that he's long
Jordan
for the
Davis is the
team.
lowest hanging fruit right now.
Yeah, but but see, here's the thing though. I'm saying
He
like you got that
He
when
dis-
you had that whole Georgia Bulldog thing going on.
that you can't
think
get
that's
caught up
very
in
real.
that. It may be real, but he needs to do more if he's going to get paid any kind of
Yep.
money.
And first, let me bring it back real quick.
Exactly.
In regards to the
Pickens will be all over Ringo.
TJ Watt, you know what I'm saying? We don't need TJ Watt. We didn't need TJ Watt to get to the Super Bowl, so we don't need TJ Watt.
But they're still in discussion with him.
But all I'm saying is that
Wow.
it's not like it's
You
not
lost
like
proven talent that helped you get to the Super Bowl, though.
say what?
You lost proven guys like Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. You've
Bye-bye.
lost proven
Yes,
and
guys.
when they retire,
And
Corner.
the guys that we're replacing them with are
I know
young.
that you like those
Or
guys, but it's
sizable.
DJ
different
retired.
when
Remember, Leo?
it's different expectations when you have a veteran who's been
retired.
there and been to a Pro Bowl and you can rely on him. And then you go young, right? And then now they're looking at you, and then you have a game or two where you're not getting the job done, and now the pressure mounts. It'll be interesting to see how that works. That's what I was saying on Wednesday. It's not a guarantee that it's gonna work. You like it, that's cool. And I know you said something about that they had rebounded from when you lost Hargrave, but you didn't have Vic Fangio at the time. That was a different defensive coordinator when you lost Hargrave and those guys. So that you really don't know until it's gonna be interesting because you guys have something to look at. It's not like you're expecting something, and if it doesn't happen out the gate, there's going to be a little bit of pressure. Bruce Banner, Dunkin' Donuts Davis needs to get the hell out of here, Bruce Banner. I like him. It's just I don't know. I think Jordan Davis.
He keeps getting hurt.
Supposedly he lost a lot of weight. Now he may be a guy who can't play like that and needs all that weight.
He probably gave it the Debo.
I don't know. That'll be interesting to see. I mean,
well, what if he comes back?
Here's my problem with all this is
Go ahead,
are you
Randy.
going to be able to pay Jalen Carter $45 million because that's what it's going to cost, and
Yep.
then pay Davis on top of that 2 defensive
I don't think
tackles?
so.
That's what I meant.
I
by
don't know
Jordan
that you're
Davis
going to be
not
able to do
last long.
that. Honestly, Leo, I think that's where y'all are going to use the draft
Because-
next year to get somebody to come back behind that, and y'all going to draft somebody high that's good.
Well,
I'm not impressed with Jordan Davis. I would love to have Jalen Carter in the middle of my line because
I do
he
too.
makes
Yeah.
everybody around him better. That's just me.
no, but that's
no. But what I like is I like to see what Jordan Davis is like second year in the same defense.
if he's not injured.
This is a different. That's the metrics by which I'm using. You know what I'm saying? In terms of when I say I like the way what Jordan Davis is looking like, this is the metrics that I'm liking. I like how he responded in his first year under Vic Fangio.
Yeah, that was decent.
I like the fact that all of them, you know what I'm saying? Other than the fact that, I know we lost CJ. I know we lost Darius Slay. I know we lost
Isaiah Rodgers,
but he wasn't a starter.
But
I agree with Linda on her comment there, guys.
I do
I just saw
Read
that.
it.
I just saw
Read
that.
it for me.
Okay. Ultra Cowboys, you say we lost guys every year, but in reality, it's strategic. Sorry. When you develop your team and win, there is always attrition in a good way.
Yeah.
That's why we have draft capital.
Yeah. Again, but Linda, just know.
Yeah, tell him, Linda.
I
Yeah.
mean, I like that. I'm on record
It's
as
true.
saying I like going young, but there is a risk when you let guys go. I know Dallas was never the same when back in the day when we lost DeMarcus Ware.
The larger point that I'm
Eagles
making
were never the same when they lost Brian Dawkins.
We weren't.
Reggie.
Until Malcolm.
They took their heart. They took their heart when they got rid of him.
And get another a free agent, Malcolm Jenkins. Yes.
Yes, and so
sometimes that's how it works.
Yes, and what I'm saying to you is the talk of moving a Nolan Smith, even a Jordan.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that's what you're talking about.
It would be the equivalent to doing that again. And I think
he's a Hall of Famer though, Leo. TJ Watt's a first ballot Hall of Famer who hasn't lost much of anything.
I don't disagree with that one bit, but we made it to the Super Bowl without him.
You did, but not just
and we're talking about I got more years with the guy that I did make it to the Super Bowl with. He's young.
I hear you. I'm just saying.
I don't need TJ Watt. I don't like what we need him for. For what? We got
you don't need him, but
I like Zach Bond, dude. I think he's your best linebacker, dude.
Yeah, right now Zach Bond's your boy.
I'm telling you.
You like again.
And he's what 30 himself, right?
Yeah, he's even younger than TJ Watt by a year. You know what I'm saying?
But you put them together, Leo. Holy my God!
I know, man.
He don't want to do it. He don't want to do it. He wants to keep the Georgia guys together.
Holy shit!
Fuck that. Give me TJ Watt. Let's ride,
Give me
baby.
TJ Watt. I'll shoot.
Listen, what I am saying is not at the expense, of my young guys. You're looking at what's right in front of your face. I'm looking at five.
But your window's starting to close, though, dude. Your window's starting to close.
That's listen. You put TJ Watt on that team, and you make our window close even faster.
No, you're probably trying to get both if you get that guy in there.
No, bro, I ain't talking about just this year.
Are you talking about the fact that you might lose cap room for that? Is that what you're talking about? The window closing more? Because I honestly think that TJ Watt would be pretty badass for you guys. But
that would be badass.
Looking at that's the only thing I could figure, man.
Oh my God! If I could take him, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
No,
Blackpool, what's up, brother?
I get that, but I got more years. I'm going to get more.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just telling you that would.
I'm good with this.
I mean, anybody can dream. As a Cowboy fan, it would be fun to watch. That's all. I'm not saying I'm rooting for it. That's all I'm saying. I know.
No, but I'm giving it. What I am telling you is I'm giving it from the perspective of an Eagles fan.
I know. I'm just saying. I like to see good players. You know.
I really think we got. I think we could get 2-3 more, at least 2 more Super Bowls out of this group right here.
You're seeing it from a business perspective.
He's too expensive.
That's what Leo's seeing it from, actually.
I hear you, Jim.
But he's seeing it from a logical business perspective.
Jay Smooth.
So I can respect that, Leo.
Yeah, I think we could get at least 2 more Super Bowls. We'll be relevant for the next 4 to 5 years.
Relevant, yeah. Super Bowl?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. There's the Jesse, there's the other elements that go into it. But at least with this core group of guys, that's one that has been addressed. It's all about there's so many other things. Again, with Nick Sirianni, with Howie, we know how Howie is, everything like that. And I'm cool with
Howie's shrewd. Howie's shrewd business, man.
Look, I like the fact that my GM does this. I always talk about quality activity, especially after a fuck up like the one we had the year before last.
No shit.
Yeah, but your GM, Leo, is the best at
Hi,
football.
Marcus.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to say this. That's where I heard about the Cowboys. No matter if Jerry Jones is in place or Stephen Jones is in place, I'm always be a Cowboy fan. But they owe it to us to be better than what the hell they've been in 20 years.
In the general
You know what I'm
manager position.
saying?
You're right.
When Jerry had that rant, and he said he went on that rant, and he said nobody's been doing it better than me. Cowboy fans was like, look at what Howie's doing.
Yeah.
Like,
the best thing is we haven't heard Jerry lately. I love it.
They put a
Thank
muzzle
God
on him.
I haven't heard him because I'm sick
Somebody
and
put a
tired
muzzle
of
on
him.
him. That's what it was.
Yeah. And
I agree with that. We haven't heard Jerry and his dumbass stuff.
No, and so as a Cowboy fan, I feel better because I think things are changing a little bit anyway. I'm not saying it's a big change. I'm not saying we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. I'm not saying
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, but the way that they're coming across now, at least this year I can watch football with a little excitement in my heart because the last 10 years ain't been good for me.
Jesse, what do you think?
When you go 8 games into the season and you don't even have a chance, it ruins the season, and then now you have to wait another freaking year and a half.
Okay, so this is okay. See, love listening to you guys. Love having these intellectual football conversations because now I get to ask my question. So why is it such a problem when someone else points out the fact that there are elements about the way your team does business that's just not conducive to winning or even having a winning culture?
I would have to say that has to do with different fans' perspective.
Yes.
It's not just one person.
Yeah.
I don't think that way.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't think that way either, Leo. I'm an old guy where I believe you go on the field and you whip their ass, and then you can talk. I don't talk prior to going onto the field. I don't believe in that. I've never believed that.
Leo, as an older fan, I can tell you right now. Leo, as an older fan, I can tell you right now.
I ain't got no damn emotions when I'm on the field.
They're fans and they're bandwagon fans.
Yes.
Dallas has that. Dallas has a lot of that.
Now, you can't just point that at Dallas because every team has bandwagon fans. They just come out of the cracks, and I'm quite sure some of your fans came out of the cracks last year when y'all were so good. I mean, let's be honest here.
Well, see, here's the problem.
I know Hamid came out of the cave. That I
know. My issue is like with Walker Wade. I'm in market. You know what I'm saying? And being in market, these people don't appreciate this team or this coach as they should. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with you because they were bad mouthing your coach last year like crazy before.
They wanted him out of there.
He was a laughing stock his rookie year. His first year. He was a laughing stock.
And I never could understand
Ron Oliver. How are you, brother?
They even played that, shaved his head. He shaved his head and played that damn 50 Cent song.
Well, listen, and here's the thing. Some of it is self-inflicted because he'll do things that'll piss people off. You see what I'm saying? So, and I always say, like, going back at the fans has never worked for anybody, like, especially in Philadelphia. But the thing is that, what Nick does is, I said this, I was like, because he was, do you guys realize that this man, everybody in this man's family is a fucking school teacher?
He keeps telling us. He keeps telling you guys that.
Yeah, like his wife, his
in-laws,
his father, his brother,
all school teachers, like grade school teachers.
His grandchildren.
Yeah, like
he's why he can't call the offense.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Leo.
No, what I'm saying to you is that it's like when you think about the way he probably has to manage that damn locker room, it's probably like something out of a damn school full of kids. I mean, come on.
It works, but it works.
Line up. Line up. Line up.
1 and 2, hold your hands.
Yeah.
Look both ways.
That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I just at this point, I just like the fact that we have a window of opportunity from a talent, a youth, and draft pick perspective where this window can be open for the next 6 years, maybe.
I agree with you. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying, as a Cowboy fan, for 20 years we've been laughed at, tortured. I mean, you name it. People have come at us. You know, I can be in a store and wearing my cap, and somebody that I don't even know comes up to me and says something. I had somebody from Detroit the other day say, "Hey, what happened to y'all?" And he laughing, and I'm thinking, dude, I don't even know you.
You know
But
that
after a
somebody out
while,
one time.
well, after 20 years of this stuff, it builds up on you and it wears you down.
look, man.
And we
When you get those
deserve
one
better than
fans,
what
man.
we got.
Let me tell you, right? You know that thing that I can't stand about the Washington Commanders is, you know that thing, I talked about it before where I was like, they've been talking mighty spicy as of late, right?
Oh yeah.
With the left hand up. With the
Because
left
of the
hand up.
and Jaden Dale's this.
Well, you know, my thing is, Leo. Let me.
Wait, real quick, because this is it's that thing, right? Is something that for 30 years, you know what I'm saying, I experienced with you guys as well that I can't stand.
Right. And it's tough.
Wait. Right. Now, you guys, and that's what you can't stand about us. Like what you're hearing, it's that thing. Now you hear it. Now
The annoying gnat that won't go away.
Right. If I show up, oh God, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't stand us now. That's us.
Difference is though, Leo. At least most of it. Well, everybody in this room. It's not like we haven't been there and won it. You know, I know it's been a while, but again,
right.
Like I told Drew, I don't understand why we have to. Yeah, we haven't. We've won what 4 playoff games in the last 30 years. That's not good. No, I understand that, but when you look at my lifetime, dude, I've seen a lot of winning. Even over this last 20 years, you know, we won more divisions than the Eagles. You just got to give it to the Eagles.
All 4, my boy.
Like you got to give it to the Eagles. They, stayed hot throughout the playoffs and got the job done twice. So that's
think about it.
That's the key. But what were you going to say? Somebody was going to say something, and
my goal was to get to. My goal is to be. I want you guys to have to deal with living with an Eagles dynasty.
Well,
that's what I want. That's what. Like,
our goal is not to have that happen.
Not happening.
We don't want that to happen.
I think this division is going to be able to slow that down a little bit. So I think that.
But those reigns, man.
I think this will be a lot closer.
Yeah, I think people are underestimating everybody.
And it's going to be a real
fan. I would kind of enjoy it and kind of just
enjoy the ride.
Just look around a little bit because I don't think it's going to be smooth sailing. So you're going to have some bumps in the road.
Come on now.
Let me talk. You keep cutting me off. Fuck. Anyway, go ahead. I'll shut up.
No, Brian was just laughing at him.
No, not you. He talks when I'm talking. I lose my train of thought. So that's all right. My wife just got home. But no, what I was saying was, I just think there could be some, I just think it's a tough schedule for everybody in the East. So if you do it this year, that would be phenomenal. Not to say you can't, but I think it's just going to be a fun year. I don't think people are going to get out on people like everybody thinks. I think it's going to be a lot closer for a longer period of time.
I think if we pull it off this year, then all of the excuses that why we're not looked at as being.
I don't think that, especially. I don't think that you aren't looked at that way. But people just don't want to hear people talk about it nonstop. That there's no way you can lose. You are considered, the team that's got your act together from the top down. So you guys don't have to prove anything. I don't know where that comes from. Sometimes Drew gets that way. I told. I don't know who I was telling this. I think it's from years of abuse prior to you guys being good. And I don't blame you. I mean, that's all there was Dallas. And then now you guys are winning, and now you're turning it around. I don't blame you, but you don't have to apologize or try and shut people up. There's nothing to shut up. You just got the job done. I don't see it that way. But if you have that, I would say this: you got to hope that your players are having that same feeling, because if they do, then that's good for you. You know,
I was about to say, and from my understanding,
like AJ Brown, you brought that up.
Based off of what I've seen and heard, like these guys got back to work a lot quicker than most people think
they didn't get caught up with the holding the trophy and all that. It was
they did their thing. AJ got married. So did Jalen. You know what I'm saying?
Devontae, didn't he, or no?
I'm sorry, Devontae. Yeah. So guys are doing their thing, but they're also working really, really hard too. So like that,
Dallas, old school Dallas. These guys would have a chip on their shoulder all the time. Like they loved playing in Philly. They didn't always win. Philly was tough. I was at most of those games. Philly was a tough place to play, even when, and I always say this, I was at the game where Barry Switzer ran Emmett into the line 4 straight times.
Oh my God!
And,
I feel for you.
And then you heard Merrill Reese, they stopped him again. They stopped him again. And then Dallas. Everybody forgets what happened that year. Dallas went on to win the Super Bowl.
I remember that.
It was an ugly ass Super Bowl, thanks to Neil O'Donnell. But
I'll say this:
tough. This division is always tough. I'm glad that the Giants are getting good. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. But don't let me forget it. To talk about the Commanders, because Leo brought up the Commanders. But go ahead, finish your thought.
I will say this: as far as being a Cowboy fan, I'm excited this year. Hey, I'm running out of years to be excited. That's my problem. Okay,
you're fine.
You're just fine, man.
I don't feel like I did 20 years ago. Let's just say that.
I can hear you, man.
All right. So what I wanted to say was this: Leo brought up Washington. Again, I don't see how any Eagle fans could be upset that we're excited again. We're allowed to be excited. Nobody's saying
we're not upset. You're excited. We're not upset.
Well, some are. Or they laugh at us and say, "Why? Because we're excited."
No, it's fun. Yeah,
I don't understand. I don't understand that mentality. What I would be upset about is the team that's in Washington that's just automatically assuming. You hear it from Momo. Eagles are going to finish third, and all I'm saying is they are poo-pooing anything that could be a sophomore slump.
So the worst one, in my opinion,
who left?
Not even Momo's not the worst.
Okay,
Momo isn't the worst. Commanders fan.
I love Momo.
I do too, but I think half the time Momo's just saying shit just to be saying it.
He's just taking his happy pill.
Right. He just says things to get
But they don't.
Up.
They don't really believe in a slump, though, Leo.
Huh?
They don't believe that Jaden Daniels could possibly the NFC. Listen, bro, the NFL is real. These NFL defenses, that's real. It's a real thing to have to struggle year 2.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that he ain't going to be a great quarterback. I'm saying
he'll have a harder time this year than he did last year.
They're going to play him differently. Am I wrong? I don't know.
No, you're not.
No, and he better not take a big hit because he's not a big person.
That's what there for,
People
Randy.
act like we're saying they're a bad football team. No, we're not. They're a good football team with a harder schedule. And now they know how to play this quarterback. Look at what happened to C.J. Stroud. Oh, well, he had injuries. Okay, injuries are part of the game, I'm told. Nobody gives us any credit for any of the injuries last year. Well, guess what? I mean, what if he loses a couple offensive linemen? Or if Debo, he finally has the baby and he's not, he's not as fast as he was before the pregnancy. I mean, I don't know. I just think that Washington could step back a little bit. I do.
Well, and I watched the command post the other night. It's 4 Washington fans, doing their show, and they're not too thrilled about the way their off season is gone. They're not too happy about things.
If you're looking at Washington and you're looking at the Eagles, right? And they're doing nothing but stacking up draft picks. Not, you lost players, but you're still in position, right? You didn't lose anybody that's catastrophic. You got the Giants going out and getting Carter, right? And Jackson Dart. You can say whatever you want. I like the kid. And then you got Dallas getting George Pickens, making a lot of free agent moves that people don't know about, I guess.
Don't forget that O-line guy you got.
Now, guess what, Washington? There's a target on your ass too.
We coming for you. We coming for you.
It's not an easy division anymore. I think I just don't think it is. I think it's what makes it fun.
Well, if when people say that, how are the Cowboys going to stop the run? How the hell are the Commanders going to stop the run? They lost half of their offensive line. I mean, defensive line.
I mean, they have some players. I'm not saying they stink.
Gibbs ahoy! Straight ahead.
But I just think that the Commanders. I think they could run into a little problem. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I think they could. They won a lot of close games last year, like 6. Yeah. I think they won 6 games, Leo, in the last,
including a Hail Mary.
Yeah, Hail Mary was crazy.
Think about that.
Yeah, against Chicago.
That easy ass schedule, Brian.
What?
Yeah.
What's that?
They had that easy ass schedule.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and they got away with one with Detroit.
They did.
Detroit was hurt though. Detroit was really hurt.
What's up, Matt Batten? How are you?
You know what's good about all of this? In 2 weeks, we don't have to talk anymore.
It'll be longer than 2 weeks. But...
well, I'm just saying, news is going to start coming out in 2 weeks.
I got news for you. I just want to blink my eye and have training camp over.
Me too.
Yeah, no
because,
doubt.
Let the games begin.
Yeah, and have nobody get hurt.
Yeah,
that's why I'm not looking forward to training camp, because that's when I'm the most nervous.
You know what I mean?
That's where the injuries happen. That's where the damn injuries happen.
And then you get the alert. I was like, what the non-contact BS? That's no.
If you remember last year, Bland went down, and we didn't think he was going to be gone for 4 weeks. Ended up being gone for what, 8 or 10 weeks?
Nah, he didn't come back till week 14, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's 13 or 14. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. So.
Carted off the field at OTAs for Washington.
What's that?
Did someone get carted off the field at OTAs for Washington?
Oh, that was wide receiver.
Yeah.
Damn. They said he wasn't bad though.
Okay. That's what I was wanting to know. Like, what's the update?
Debo better lose about 30 pounds though.
Well,
leave it. No, not really.
I like the Giants this year, brother.
Fine.
I just wish the Giants would go back to the old helmet with the Giants like script.
I've been saying that for the longest.
Yeah, I like the old Giants helmet. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So
we should bring the Oilers back too, though.
Yeah, the Oilers.
I miss that.
I actually rock those unis every once in a while with the throwbacks. I like that.
It's not the same, though.
Debo should change his name. Debo should change his name to Doughboy.
Here's something else.
Noah Brown. Yes. Noah Brown.
I do have a concern when it comes to the Eagles, which is our kicking game. Remember, Jake was having last year. And
he seemed to get it right though.
Yeah, well, they got rid of the long snapper. That's what it was. Apparently that's what the fix was.
Really?
And we need a new long snapper. So I'm interested to see how do we address that issue too, because I was getting mad at Jake last year. I was calling him Missy Elliott.
They paid him enough.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah, he got paid too, and now at this point, him and Lane are the only 2 active players from the original Super Bowl team.
Yep.
That's still left. They're the last of the Mohicans. You know what I'm saying? So it's we it's not like we're totally flawless and everything. We have some challenges that we have to overcome, but they're not
safety.
They're not they're talking, like Makuba isn't signed yet, but not all but 2 second rounders have been signed to contracts at this point, because now agents are trying to negotiate full contract guarantees for second rounders. So we haven't gotten him signed, but they said that the dude looks solid. And then you got Sidney Brown and Reed Blanket shit coming back, and a year 2 of a Vic Fangio defense. So from those aspects, I'm liking it. And again, you still got Cooper. They're talking about putting more into his responsibilities in terms of the base package. So the way these guys are going to pick up this defense, at least continuity-wise, having that for 2 years, because you guys already know you don't have to ask whether or not Jalen Hurts is going to be able to run an offense, even if he's in year 1. He's been doing that every year since he's been in the league. So his ability to be able to pick up an offense is not within question at this point. Y'all know what that looks like. He's done it year after year. You see what I'm saying? So we know
he's proven him. Yeah, he's proven himself. He's proven himself.
Yeah.
I got a question for you though, Leo.
Yeah.
About your prediction.
Okay.
What are you gonna do when you do lose and you don't win the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna come here and take my lumps.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a whole theme park for you, Leo.
I just had to ask a question. Everybody was curious, including me.
Listen, remember? Well, you guys don't remember, but I took some serious lumps from this fan base when we lost 6 out of the last 7 and got ousted.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah, whatever. You know,
some of us aren't like that. Like I said, I don't like to talk until the season's over.
There's not much to talk about, people, so I don't mind.
I will say this: we are only in year 2. We're beginning year 2 of being away from that season, and we still need to be a few more years before we find out exactly what the hell happened. Because we can speculate all day, but we still don't know even to this day.
I would just tell people, you think, and I made this comment a while back. I'm not saying don't take it personal. It's just a statement. You know, I can go back to multiple different runs that I thought we were going to have with Dallas, and we were locked and loaded with DeMarco Murray, and you know, it's never as long as you think, right? That's why it's key to constantly be retooling, even when you think you're the best. It's good to let some guys go that might not be worth all the money that you might give, and to go young. And that's how the real good teams can stay, because you can't keep. Just look at what New England did for their run. They were letting guys go every year, and then they were still finding Gilmores, and they were finding players left and right. You know, Julian Edelman's, and it's important. Because every year is a year in its own. The years of the non-salary cap where you have a stud team and you could pretty much say, okay, it's going to be us and the Niners in a championship game, maybe Washington, maybe the Eagles. You know, those days are over. We're in a salary cap era. All it takes is a couple devastating injuries, and you're out of it for that year. And then you get a good draft pick, and then we've done that multiple times where we've had horrible injury seasons, and we were able to get Ezekiel Elliott, right? Because we got the 5th overall draft pick.
Well, 4th. Here's the thing.
4th or 5th, whatever it was. But yeah, so,
4th.
You know, I would just say it's not easy as people think. Yeah, you have a great foundation, but God forbid you have a couple injuries. It may not be your year, and that's why it's good to go young. That's why I like what you did.
Which is why but remember, Game Time, I'm an Eagles fan. And
but I mean for anybody, not just
Eagles.
No,
but listen, when we won that first Super Bowl, remember, we limped into that Super Bowl. We were the walking wounded. We lost our starting quarterback. We lost our starting left tackle. We lost our running. Our
but then
starting.
You got hot though, you know.
Nick Foles,
Saint Nick,
Philly.
Nick.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
I mean, he was the MVP at the Super Bowl.
You got a statue in front of your building, man.
We had an entire. We literally had.
Zeke's coming for your meats, Bruce Banner.
Some quality players who were not playing. You see what I'm saying? So, but that particular group had that whole dog mentality, next man up.
Yeah, that heart. You had heart.
And so, to me, the lesson learned was having somebody again, which is why I was the only reason why I was okay with Jalen Hurts from the beginning was only because I thought at least we would have a quality backup like we did with Nick Foles. Learned that lesson.
Well, that 2017 team you had too had 2 receivers.
There was also, but yeah, and then
that you ended up picking up one from Baltimore, and I can't remember the other one.
Alshon Jeffrey.
Alshon Jeffrey. Yeah.
I got a question for you, Leo. Just looking at the schedule, let's say, right? Let's just say. I know you're gonna say that there's no possible way, right? But let's just say worst case scenario, right? I'm not gonna say who you guys are gonna win or who you're gonna lose, but let's just look at you're home against Dallas, at the Chiefs, home against the Rams, at Tampa. What is the fan base saying if you come out of that 1-3? I'm just curious. What are you saying if you're 1-3 after 4? Well, no, I'm talking to Leo. Zip
yeah.
it.
First and foremost, has that ever happened to us before?
I mean, I don't know. I'm talking about this year. I mean,
remember last year?
Well,
Same thing.
All right. So if you're 1-3, you're good.
Yeah, seen this picture before. Probably lost some games that we should have won. Something.
I mean, that's a tough stretch. Dallas at
the
Chiefs. You and Drew were talking about, or I know at least Drew was saying how great the Rams are going to be, and then at Tampa, who you never win at Tampa. I'm just saying. So if you're 1-3 after 4,
look at us,
and then you come home against the Broncos, right?
Yep.
And then at the Giants, you own the Giants, but the Giants, like we're hearing from Drew how great the Giants are going to be this year.
I think
and that's a Thursday night football.
I think the Giants defense.
And then at the Vikings.
Yum.
Yep.
And then I think you beat the hell out of the Giants.
Let me ask you something.
At Green Bay.
Can you think of another team? How many teams are out there that if you had to play that schedule, you want to play with that team?
I'm just saying, I'm not looking into it any more than what's the vibe of the city if you're 1-3 looking at Denver Broncos coming in.
It's a beautiful thing.
The vibe of the city.
The vibe of this. I can tell you what the vibe of the city is going to be.
I can tell you. I'll be happy.
It's going to be all hell breaking loose.
I'll be happy, joy.
But no. But what I will say is that haven't they shown y'all that before? Remember last year?
You can't keep going down that well, bro.
Here we go. Not back here. We're talking about this year.
No. But what I'm saying
your
is
schedule's a lot harder this year than it was last year. So if you go,
but did we not? That the scenario that
you ended up having Dallas, that was a horrible team. You played and you smashed us twice. You smashed Washington twice. You smashed the Giants twice. So I mean, I just don't think it's gonna. I'm just
not
saying.
This year.
All this bluster from a lot of people, it could easily go where you're 2-2, 1-3, and if it does, now you're not running away with nothing.
Well, once again,
you may win it, but you ain't running away with it.
Franklin Bridge is going to be having a lot of people falling off.
Jackson Dart's going to be throwing dimes by week 6. Yeah, right.
You know what? Listen, again, give me a scenario that I haven't. All I can think is where we haven't seen that before. That's the part that I keep. That's the part that
I heard that, Brian.
Especially when it comes to talking with other fan bases, because I have to play the hypothetical and theory game, and I'm looking at y'all like, but y'all seen this before.
No, again, each year in the NFL is different, bro. It is.
Yeah, but no, your hypothetical.
It's not like you've won a Super Bowl every year. It's only
no. But again, when I think about your question was a hypothetical, or
I'm looking at the schedule, and it's
I get what you. I get the listen. I totally understand the factors that you are using, but what I'm saying to you is that when the answer to your question is what is the fan base thinking?
That's all I was asking. Yeah.
That the answer is we've seen this before. You guys,
you will.
You saw
that's not what's going to happen in the local fan base. You know that's not what's going to happen. It's going to get.
I can tell you what's going to happen at a local fan base.
Jesse lives in the city. Talk about being in the market. He's literally in
the
market.
Ben Franklin Bridge is going to have a lot of people throwing themselves off the bridge.
Again, they're not going to say we can't come back, but they're going to be holding their breath saying they ain't going to be flexing chests like we're hearing right now. It's going to be like, I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to be like, yeah, we could do it. We could do it. And then they're gonna walk away and go, "Can we do this shit? We better be able to do this shit. We better
We
be
like
able to do
Rocky
this shit."
too.
That's all I'm saying. It's
And here's the thing. That's not
because
bad.
of expectation. Is why I'm
Exactly.
saying
Mm-hmm.
expectation is you guys are Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Which is where, which
Well,
is what
no, not everybody's there, Leo. Not everybody's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and
Dallas isn't Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah. Dallas wants to see. All Dallas is looking
I need
for.
to get into the playoffs before I could talk Super Bowl
Right.
and win a fucking playoff game. Excuse my
Right,
language.
right.
Playoffs? Talk about playoffs?
Exactly.
You kidding me?
I teed that one up for you. But yeah, I was just looking at their
Nice.
schedule. It's home against Dallas, at the Chiefs. I'll share it. We'll go through the whole season. I'm not doing wins and losses. I'm just looking at it like, yeah, they could be 3-1 too. So I'm just saying, yeah, hypothetical. Like, what's the town? You're talking,
And check this out. I'm thinking we're going 2-0.
It's possible, but
Possible. Yeah.
but like you got a week 9 bye, and then it's at Green Bay,
Yeah.
home against Detroit,
Yeah.
at Dallas,
Ooh.
Yeah.
home against the Bears,
That's an L.
Hey,
at
Brian,
the
check
Chargers.
days. Look at the days. Look at the days of the week those games fall on.
I'm just looking at
You
the
always lose at Dallas.
and
No,
then
no,
home
yeah.
against the Raiders, at Washington, at the Bills, week 17,
Yeah.
and then home against
Yeah.
Washington. Them
I know.
two commando games. We're talking a lot of shit, but those commando games could be big.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
that's what's kind of interesting. If
Yeah,
it's
we have to go to-
close,
We're gonna have to go to Buffalo to play in the snow. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to. And we're probably gonna have to
No
play
Bowl Part 2.
in DC and in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at all that stuff, game time. You know what I'm saying? And I think, but here's the thing too. They got to play us too. You know what I'm saying? They got to play us too. We're just not some pushed over.
No. I know. I'm just looking at it from like a lens. I'm looking at it from an Eagles lens. I mean,
Washington.
listen. I could do this, Jesse. We're talking about the Eagles. I could talk. I mean, I could bring your schedule up if you want.
And
I already know my schedule.
You want to see this?
They should have our schedule, Brian.
Watch
They
this,
should have
Leo.
our
Watch
schedule.
this shit.
game time, go back to last year's schedule
No.
and look at what the and look at what the results are.
I know, but you can't expect to be that way every year. I mean, you can
No,
want
but
that.
if we're analyzing it, if you want to get just a little bit of some kind of a thing to look at,
No, because a lot of times what happens is you'll go on a run, right? Dallas has done it back at, we've won 3 straight 12-win seasons where we've won games I would never have thought that we would have won, but for the reason maybe the other team is not as good or is dealing with something, you start looking back. I remember some of our Super Bowl seasons, I look back and man, we went on a run, but we never really won more than, what was our best record, Randy, when we won a Super Bowl in the 90s?
Super Bowl 30.
13?
I think we were 13-3.
That was it. That was our best record. It wasn't like we were close to being undefeated. No.
Right.
But anyway, let's look at the Giants' schedule. This is kind of fun.
This is a murderer's row.
Exactly. This is the schedule you should be having, Leo.
At
We're all
Washington.
going to have our schedules.
At Washington, at Dallas.
We're going to take that damn win from Dallas.
Home against the Chiefs, home against the Chargers. At New Orleans.
Chargers should be.
Home against the Eagles. At Denver. At the Eagles. Home against the Niners. At the Bears. Home against Green Bay. At Detroit. At New England. Bye week. Home against the Commandos. Okay, it ends up okay. Home against the Vikings. At the Raiders. Home against Dallas. So it ends up okay. It's actually not as bad as I thought, but yeah, we all got a gauntlet of a schedule. Dallas's schedule.
That's what I'm saying. I'm keeping it low
Dallas's
profile.
schedule. Just to look at Dallas's schedule, it ain't no walk in the park either.
No,
at
Jesus
the
Christ.
Eagles, home against the Giants. At the Bears. I'm glad we're playing them early, but you're still at the Bears.
Yeah.
Home against Green Bay.
At least it won't be freezing. Well, maybe windy, but not freezing, hopefully.
At the Jets. At Carolina. Okay, that's a
win-win.
Home against the Commandos. Okay, so we're picking up some steam. At Denver, that ain't good. Home against Arizona. We have a hard time beating Arizona. I don't know. Bye week, week 10.
Denver,
We got a
too.
great bye week.
I am
At the
grateful.
Raiders, I'll be at that. I'll be at the Jet game and I'll be at the Raider game. Home against the Birds on a short week. Oh no, that's not a short week. That's Sunday 4:25,
Late game.
and then Thanksgiving. This is our tough stretch. We got the Eagles, right? On Sunday 4:25, and then 4 days later we got the Chiefs on Thanksgiving, and then 7 days later we got to go to Detroit on Thursday Night Football. We don't get that break.
Are you in Kansas City or are you in Dallas?
We're in Kansas. We're in Dallas.
Irony. Want to hear
home.
something that's ironic that I just thought of about that? Us facing Kansas City.
Yeah.
Murray Schottenheimer's dad coached Kansas City. Ain't that like crazy thinking that?
Yep.
Anyway, that's a tough stretch though. Eagles at home.
Let's get the gleam. All right, let's go.
The Chiefs at home, at Detroit. And then it's home against the Vikings, home against the Chargers, at Washington, at the Giants. So it's not as bad, I don't think, as the Giants and Eagles, but it's close. I don't know. Pick your poison. The only other one we didn't look at is...
I'm just happy we don't have to go to Denver.
Yeah, that's true about that.
Yeah, you always have problems with Denver.
I think Denver's going to the Super Bowl this year, so we're
9-4 against them all time.
They ain't going nowhere.
In Denver. But in all seriousness, what do you guys think about Kansas City, though? You guys think they took a step forward or back?
Back.
I think they're going to be good. Yeah,
I think they're going to be good.
It's hard to bet against them.
They got Simmons added to their line, and I'm telling you, they're going to be better.
All right, here's the Washington Commando schedule.
Yeah, they say they giving them Trent Williams vibes from him.
Yeah. Here's the Commando schedule. Home against the Giants.
Win.
Win for the Commandos or win for you?
Win for me.
Oh, wow, you talking shit. I like it. At Green Bay. The Green Bay always starts out slow. We know that, right? They always start out kind of ass, but, so who knows? Home against the Raiders. At Atlanta. I don't think that's a hard schedule. Home against Giants, at Green Bay. Home against the Raiders, at Atlanta. That's not ridiculous. No. At the Chargers. Okay. I think they're going to be good.
Awesome.
Home against the Bears. At Dallas. At the Chiefs. Okay, that's a little tough. At Dallas, at Chiefs. Home against Seattle. What do you think about Seattle, Leo? Do you think they're going to be any good?
I think they're because remember they're in rebuild mode too.
Mid-tier team right now.
It depends on that quarterback. It depends what kind of quarterback they got.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and they got a rookie quarterback now, right?
Well, now they got Sam Darnold,
and they picked up our trash.
But what Sam Darnold gonna get?
Yeah, but he might as well be a rookie.
Yeah, well, his Cinderella slippers came off towards the end of the year, so. But that's a tough stretch. Week 7 at Dallas. Week 8 at the Chiefs. Week 9 home against Seattle. Week 10 home against Detroit. Week 11 at Miami, which is always tough because it's hot. Bo, oh, you know what? That's overseas. Forget it. That's overseas.
That's nil.
That's over in Germany or
that's
whatever.
A wash.
Whatever, yeah. Or San Diego. Maybe, I don't know if that's Brazil.
Yeah.
That is Brazil.
Home against Denver. See, I guess we're the only team who has to go to Denver. Nice. At Minnesota. At the Giants. Home against the Eagles. Home against Dallas. At the Eagles. Okay, so look at that. Yeah, the last 4 games, it's all division. But I don't think it's that
They ain't
hard,
going no playoffs. They ain't damn sure not going no playoffs.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's early, but, it's kind of, it's just
come
kind
on,
of
Momo,
interesting.
have a seat down here with us. Come on down here. Come on.
I would love to see the Giants finish ahead.
I got some glizzies for you, buddy. Have a seat.
I would love
in
to
the
see
midnight hour, you could be crying.
No.
You guys are on. All right, so before we get out of here, anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean, I don't have to go anywhere. I'm just tired. I'm sunburned.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on Game Time.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mark's blowing
Thanks
me
to
up
all our
here.
veterans out there that have served and
There's Mark.
the ones that have given their life.
Brother.
There's Mark. He's
Get back
cooking
to
up
you
some
too,
meats.
brother.
Oh man.
He's
Mark,
cooking
as well,
up some
Leo.
meats.
Yeah,
We have the meats.
I really appreciated just being able to hang out with you guys like this because I don't normally do the fireworks thing. You know,
I
I
hate
want,
Oh yeah, the
fireworks, Leo.
PTSD kicking in, Leo. Oh my God.
yeah.
I don't like fireworks anymore. Oh, just real quick. This is the 10th year anniversary of Jason Pierre-Paul blowing off his fingers.
Don't remind me.
Don't play off the other 10 or 5.
And
Sorry.
he's hoping to come back to the Giants. He's looking to sign a deal to come back and play with you guys this year.
Well, shit, Miami picked up our guy, our damn tight end that retired. What the hell?
Are you down with JPP, Jesse?
I'll take him. Why not?
Oh
Look it.
yeah, you don't like him. See you, Weed.
That's
See you, buddy.
That's just a nostalgic move.
Semper Fi, baby.
Yeah,
The retire as
Inspirational.
yeah. You know, and by the way, I got my green light on right now too, y'all, outside.
Nice.
For those of you who don't know what the green light means, is that a green light is whenever you see that, that means that that's a home that a veteran in crisis or in need can knock on.
I didn't know that. I did not know
That's
that.
awesome. I'm going to do that.
Thank you. I
I'm
appreciate
gonna
that.
have to do that.
Yeah, and then if you have,
He's fucking with us. He just wants us to have eagle colors outside of our house.
no, it's the real.
I'm joking.
Yeah, it's a real thing. And if you
I
see,
got an eagle colored house. My wife won that argument. You know, I'm like, I told her, I said, let's go with blue siding. She goes, no, I want green. And now I'm stuck with eagle green fucking house.
You know, I just realized that it's 2 months from yesterday that we play the Eagles. 2 months.
Wow, 8 weeks.
Damn.
8 weeks.
Damn,
I
8
can't
weeks
wait.
sounds short.
Yo, game time. You guys going down there in the stadium or what? Because I want to go down and meet. Like, what with you guys?
I don't know. Mark don't know what he's doing. So Mark's a
Oh,
last
God,
minute
I
guy.
agree with
So
him.
I would say we'll probably go down and hang out. I'm not going into the game, but we'll go hang out.
No, I'm not
somewhere.
going in the game. I go over there with the what you call it? What that chicken beats, whatever.
Mark wants a live stream, and it's always tough because it's loud at Chicky and Pete's. So I don't know what to do. I don't have a real good answer for him.
Did you see Mark do his live stream at Buc-ee's
Yeah.
and people were looking at him strange with that doll?
He had a damn
Yeah.
doll in his hand. He
I
should've-
would never have done something like
Don't
that.
mess with the voodoo, voodoo.
You guys need a technician with
Well,
you.
what you don't know
I
about
need a
Mark is
technician.
when Mark, you better have your head on a swivel if you're
It's like, Chris,
with
hook
Mark.
this up. Do
Yeah, I
this.
agree.
Fix
You
that.
gotta be careful.
You know.
listen, I was laughing.
Yeah,
at
Mark.
We're jumping out of his way when he was walking in with the doll. I was
Yeah,
like,
the doll was freaky, bro. I think that's
Yeah,
the
it
problem.
was. That gave me the heebie-jeebies.
I think
Yeah.
the doll is the problem. I'm sorry, Mark. I think the doll is the cause of our
Burning.
demise.
Is the doll Mark or Mark is the doll?
I
Well,
don't know.
you know, Mark did say that he thinks that it was actually the chicken with the ring. thing.
Yeah, I think
it
that's
may
what-
be Rowdy too.
Why would I pay money to see him choking his
I
chicken?
think Rowdy
balls?
might be an issue. I mean, that damn mascot is no damn good.
No, it ain't. Remember Whistling Ray?
Yeah, yes, Whistling Ray.
What's the name of your mascot?
Fucking Rowdy.
Rowdy.
That's almost
Rowdy.
Why can't the Undertaker be our mascot?
almost
He's
as
a
bad
Cowboys
as-
Oh
fan.
no!
Yeah,
That's our
that would be
mascot. Don't
cool.
take him.
That's almost as bad as Gritty for the Flyers. Gritty at least is.
Hey, Gritty, no, don't mess with Gritty.
Or Sting or something.
Come on, Gritty sucks.
That way, yeah, we could have Sting and Undertaker, be our mascots, and they
No,
our
you
Cowboy
Chris.
stuff.
Leave my Undertaker alone. Leave my Undertaker
The best
alone.
man-
No, they could destroy the other
best
team's freaking
mascot in
mascots.
sports is the Philly Fanatic.
I'm
but
just about to say
Yeah,
that.
I'd agree with that.
I do.
That's the best mascot. Him, the San Francisco or the San Diego Chicken was good. Yeah,
Remember
Vinny
the
Hagen,
gorilla?
Whistling Ray.
Remember the
That's
gorilla?
right.
Yeah,
Cleveland.
like, do you realize how many fights the Philly Fanatic has started?
Oh,
yeah.
I remember
yeah.
Tommy
fought with the manager. He
Lasorda
fought with the manager
fucking
one time.
hated him. Tommy Lasorda hated
Yeah,
the
Tommy
Fanatic.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah,
that-
that's what I told him.
Remember when he had the Lasorda doll hanging up?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well, he had this thing that would smash because every time I'd go to a Phillies game, my brother, rest his soul, he would buy me one of those plastic batting helmets, and I had
Yeah.
most of. I still have a lot of them downstairs. Well, the Fanatic would put Dodgers, like one of those batting helmets, the like replicas, and just smash it right in front of him. And it would piss off Tommy Lasorda.
But you know what? If you can't take that kind of stuff all in fun, that come on.
Yeah.
Well, come on. You got the guy, the damn fanatic running around in the 4-track. Come on now.
Funny as hell.
Yeah, listen, man.
He's hot as hell. You know he's ripe in that bitch too.
Growing up, my favorite Phillies player was
You ain't lying.
Von Hayes.
Who? Von Hayes. Good Ron, right?
Yep, Von Hayes, my favorite player.
Von Hayes. I was always a Willie Stargell, Gary Maddox.
My dad loved. Oh my God, my dad loved Willie Stargell.
Willie Stargell for the Pirates. Bake McBride.
Yeah, he's got a mug. I still have his mug.
We had Bake McBride out in the outfield, but more like I don't know. Gary Maddox was like a class act. So I met Gary Maddox once too, so that was kind of cool.
Roberto Clemente was a good player.
I remember game time. I remember my dad introducing me to Thurman Munson.
Oh wow,
the Yankees.
Yeah, wow. Look at you.
Wow. I was like a little kid and like, oh my God! And then like a few months later,
I was
he died.
in awe
like,
when
Jesus.
I was playing in Florida baseball, and I was on a plane with Phil Necro. So he was on his way out, so it was kind of neat. So being in a clubhouse with Phil Necro, but it was just neat,
And 16 years ago today is when Steve McNair was killed.
Oh yeah, dude.
I watched
by
that.
his girlfriend.
I watched that not too long ago. That one bothered me a little bit.
That's tragic.
Scary.
Yeah.
That one bothered me a little bit. The Phillies traded
Really,
Ryan
Hallie?
Sandberg.
Hey,
the
look,
Cubs,
hey guys,
right,
look,
Ultra?
Hallie Pierce, Gary Maddox's brother and Mike is my Texas Rangers pitching coach.
Oh, cool.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
No. That's a different. You're thinking of a different Maddox, Hallie. Mike Maddox. You're thinking of
Gary Maddox.
Yeah, Gary Maddox is. He was black, Hallie. So.
Yeah, he was black. He was the
No, I'm saying I think it's a different Maddox. I think. Gary Maddox was one of my favorites. He was just a really cool guy. Him and not to get off the beaten path, but Andrew Toney, growing up was again that was another athlete who he had bad feet, man. He just could not get healthy. Andrew Toney was the man. If anybody remembers that team,
I remember him
with Bobby Jones and Andrew Toney and
that was a good crew. That was a good crew
Moses
there.
Malone and
Mark
Ivoroni and
Did they win the championship one time?
Yes. Hey Brian, fo.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep, fo. Daryl Dawkins.
Chocolate Thunder.
Monster Dunk.
Yeah, I met Chocolate Thunder at the Cherry Hill Mall once, man. I was walking in, me and my brother walking out of Foot Locker, and he was walking in, and I was a little kid. I remember
several years ago, I got to meet what's his face, George, not George Foreman. What the hell? What is his name? Oh my God! Go ahead, guys.
But anyway, I was at the mall. I waited in a long line after the championship, and when did they win? 82, I think, maybe. 82.
No, 82, yeah.
82. I don't know. I think it was Echelon Mall. I think. And I waited a long line to be in to meet Dr. J. And I got up there and I was just like starstruck. And I gave him my helmet, and I was stuttering, and he signed my hat. He signed my hat, Of course I wore
now
it.
I remember. I remember
it,
meeting Joe Frazier. Years back.
Yeah.
I'll give y'all a story. I went to Sears and Roebuck in 1971. My mom had passed away, and Don Meredith was there. He brought me all the way to the front of the line. He found out about my mother passing away. I was 10 years old, and he brought me all the way to the front of the line and sat by him, and he talked to me for a while. It was cool.
Wow.
I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that.
Oh, that's so bad for you.
That's cool.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that was your mama giving you.
I'm gonna get going, but I want to let you guys all know.
Yeah, I'm gonna let
you know that I love you all, especially our veterans, man. Thank you for your service.
You, man. I love you too.
Well, no, seriously. I mean, I don't think
Sam,
people
brother.
realize everybody as a whole and what they do.
Yeah.
To make everything run is so important.
Well, I could say this.
Even to you, Wade, you crazy truck driver.
Well, you figure just in here
Damn,
now, we
lot
got
lizard
Leo.
before.
Like we got Leo, who's a veteran. We got Randy, who's a veteran.
Yep.
We got Jesse, who's a veteran. We got Ultra Cowboy, who was a veteran. We got there was a couple more. I can't think. Let me go up to see if I see his name. I know he's a JD 1965, I believe, is a veteran. Again, I don't like to get too personal, but just over here, I got a few flags. You see Semper Fi over there.
Yeah. Straight leather necks.
Yeah, I got my uncle was a Navy SEAL. He's passed away. I know I have my father was in the Army. My grandfather was in the Army.
Yep.
My whole family served. It's just I didn't
I got
get to.
uncles in the Navy. Yeah, so I was destined to go in myself, and then all hell kind of broke loose. I lost my brother. I lost my dad, and I kind of had to hang out here. So it worked out. But thank you for your service.
I wanted to fly, man. That's what I wanted to do. I'm a freaking fly.
I went to my dad took me to the recruiting office. I wanted to go Air Force. They went to lunch, so Army's like, come here. So they got me.
Oh, really? Dude, the first time I I actually did, and we had a school thing where they came to the airport, the military, with all the different. Of course, my dad, I remember when I was really young, being on the base and seeing them and the airplanes taking off. But dude, the first time, on that field trip, I got to go sit in that cockpit and look at all those instruments and everything. It just blew my mind. And I love flight. And that's what I wanted to do, but yeah, I was like, man, so cool.
The consolation. My cockpit was an M113 Airman Personnel Carrier.
Nice.
Well, let me tell y'all a quick story. I rode one of the flights back to Houston, and the greatest honor I ever had is they brought a veteran. They told us to keep seated, and they brought the coffin out from under the plane. I'm not gonna lie to you. Mother and father came up there, and I ain't gonna lie, I shed a few tears because stuff like that, it really gets to you.
Yeah.
Yo, Randy, don't feel too bad. When I was stuck in the hospital for my heart condition, and all of a sudden they rang a bell and they pulled the coffin out of one of the rooms and it had dried and the flag dried over everything. Everybody who could stand got out of the rooms and gave their fucking salute to the guy.
Yeah, that's cool when they do that kind of stuff.
I cried.
When they do cats and the 21 gun salute, dude, like during my dad's funeral, that's the hardest thing.
Check this out.
Thanks for what you do, Brian, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't all be out here sharing our lives together.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I love you all, guys.
It's a two-way street.
Look, check this out. So, in my family, right? I served in OIF, OEF. My father, Marines, Vietnam. My grandfather, my uncle, Vietnam.
Korea.
World War II, right? So we did some. We even have a West Point graduate in our ranks.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. And he and I were actually deployed around the same time. Now here's what's crazy: doing family history and everything like that. Would y'all believe? Can you dig it? I have members on my mother's side of the family fought for the Confederacy.
Ooh, that's crazy.
I can see that. Wow. That's a lot of like.
Hey, imagine that one side of your family was 100% Cherokee Indian.
Bro, it was like one of those things where we're
crazy.
Like, what? Yeah. So, because I have family that comes from Dillon, South Carolina, that actually served during the Civil War, but for the Confederacy. You know what I'm saying? For part of my family. And so they actually there's some members of my family who actually fought on the side of the Confederacy. If we're talking about familial ties to different eras of war, when we go to there's one part of my family's history where at one point we had veterans of the Civil War who were on the Confederacy.
You know, it's an internal struggle. That's all that was. A family dispute. That's what it was.
It's a family of service. You know, like, hey, you know, but it's just one of those things. Like, you know, when we're talking about service and everything like that.
Yeah, Leo, did you ever go to Gettysburg and watch the reenactment? You got to see that.
No, you know what? No, and I think I will. But here's what you need to see. You got to go down to DC and check out the changing out of the guard for the Tomb of the Unknown.
Yeah, I did
Watched
that.
it yesterday.
My dad told me when I was a kid. I remember that.
Summer, go over to the Marine Corps barracks where they have like their bases. They do a big ass parade and everything. It's great.
I didn't know that.
Hey, Randy, if you ever want to come to DC, let's say next year for the draft, right? If anybody wants to come, I mean, yeah, there's a NBC Suites that's not too far. We could all stay there or whatever, you know.
That sounds good.
If you can get there, I can get Mark Holmes to take a few of us on a tour. Mark will take us to play. Me, Randy Stites, and Mark. It was a couple years ago. He took us all around the mall. Now, it'll be different if we're going for the draft because they'll have shit blocked off. So maybe not to do it for the draft. Maybe do it to where maybe if we go to a game in Washington or something, maybe, you know, whatever. And then hang out at Mark's house or something because he's not far from there. You know, I would split a room over at the embassy right near Mark's house. But he could take us to the mall, and like you're saying, I live 2 hours from Washington D.C., but I never really thought I would enjoy it. But having him take us, we were walking around. We walked the whole mall. We like what you guys are talking about, but all of a sudden we're walking. And we're behind the White House. I mean, it was just a surreal experience. We're literally
I gotta do that one day.
You know, and it's like it's not what you think.
Like that.
It's not like oh my god, it was just like, it was nice. But then the helicopter, like, you know, at the time, I guess it was who the hell was it? I guess it was Biden at the time, was it? Yeah, I guess it had to have been Biden. But yeah, it was kind of interesting. But having Mark do the tour. Was really cool, like, because he used to work down there. He used to work at one of the art galleries. He was a construction worker, and we went to a few of the places. It was just he knew where to park. We didn't have to pay to park. We knew all the ins and outs, and you know, it was just a
that
very
would sound
good
cool.
It was a very good time. It was a
great.
very good time, and
I might take up on that one.
Yeah, that one was good, man. That was good. I would definitely say. To go to Washington D.C. is actually pretty cool.
For me,
I never thought I would
right
say that,
there.
but walking the mall and seeing all the like you guys are talking about, like the tombs and stuff. You know,
I would like to do
that. Don't do the monument.
Well, we went, but Mark is a wealth of knowledge. He is a Civil War. He can recite all kinds of things. When we went and picked up the RV, we had to pass a lot of those places in Virginia, these historical sites out in the middle of nowhere. And he's like, oh, this is where they fought the battle of this. I'm like, really? Okay. This is where they did that. And it was just really neat. He is a wealth of knowledge. So we break his balls a lot, but he does know his shit when it comes to the Civil War.
Mark's a good man.
He is.
He's a good man.
Yeah. So I've been texting him a lot. He's actually feeling better about himself. His health hasn't been the best. So
I saw where he said he lost 15 pounds.
Yeah, well,
which is good.
He's sweating it off. He's a hard ass worker. You're not gonna.
Yeah,
find
he is.
He overdoes it though.
His ass off.
He overdoes it though.
But anyway, I'm rambling on. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for Leo, and thanks for Randy, and thanks for Jesse. Thanks for Chris. Thanks for everybody in the chat. Thank you, Ultra, for your service, brother. I know you get frustrated, but at the end of the day, you know.
We still love you, Ultra.
We're all
8 weeks away, guys.
We're all talking
8
football.
weeks. And it's exactly 8 weeks today. September 4th.
This is the season of optimism until it stops. Hopefully it lasts a little bit this time.
Happily, it's my birthday present is football.
Hopefully this optimism lasts longer than it did last year.
Yes.
All right, everybody. I'll talk to you.
Good night, guys.
Later.
Good night, guys. Take care.
Keith, there are three things that the defense now is not allowed to use against the offense, which takes away some of the stuff that you guys can do. You want to show me the three things that are not legal?
Hands in the face mask.
That one?
Grabbing those face masks.
Yeah.
Hand slap.
You told me you weren't gonna hurt me.
Well,
Ooh. Ah. Damn, bars in here. God.
That's it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but